What the hell is wrong with some people? OMG. Well, we don't use psychic abilities in court, peeps. I don't think they are a psychic as much as they need to focus on putting the cuckoo back in the clock. Hello all, Stacy the Black Feather Intuitive, and welcome to Black Feather Reacts. And we are, believe it or not, on part 6. I thought it was just 5 parts, but it is 6 parts of this saga of a YouTube psychic who went rogue and just in a very batshit crazy way started accusing somebody of murder and, you know, all sorts of things, just at random, picking a random person and creating this random connection that was such a conspiratorial and made up story. And there's, you know, defamation lawsuits and her talking about bringing receipts, and then, you know, she's going to leave the country, and then missing things for to respond to the lawsuit, and then she responds after the fact with this whole victim diatribe, and then they basically say, okay, well, we'll reopen, you know, to address this, and she doesn't respond to any of it. And quite honestly, after part 5, I mean, I've been feeling really sad about it since part 3. Like physically sad about it since part 3, but part 5, I really was left feeling like we're witnessing somebody in the throes of some severe mental illness. And so I'm nervous, but also very curious to see the resolve of this and, you know, how this all wraps up and what the outcome of this is. I would be shocked if she didn't get her ass sued off by more than just the original plaintiff. And quite honestly, like, I'm not a legal person, but I think some of this shit needs to be criminal. I would be shocked if there weren't some type of criminal charges brought up against her at the end of this. This is just insane.
Well, the only type of criminal charges you can have is if she actually reported these things, false reporting to the police, but it's all commentary. So it's that defamation. You know, we say mental illness, we say all these things. I'm going to get a little pushback for this, but maybe she doesn't have mental illness. Maybe she's just fucking stupid.
Well, there's definitely a portion of that. And as I've said throughout this entire little series, I'm seeing an individual who is exhibiting some severe narcissistic characteristics. I definitely feel that. I am not a psychologist or a psychiatrist or a medical person of any kind. I am not here to diagnose anybody. I am, you know, from my opinion and my observation and my own personal experience with people like this is somebody who has been trying desperately to be seen and heard and to matter in the world. And she took a path that opened a little bit of that up. And instead of backing off when it started to go south, she, as we have said 1,000,001 times, she doubled down, tripled down, quadrupled down. And now she's just on a path of self-destruction because she is prepared to die on the sword. And she has created a falsehood. She's created this story and she believes this story now. This is the reality that she's choosing to live in, but she also was running away from her reality as well. And that says to me, things are not firing on all thrusters.
I keep thinking of that song, Self-Destruction. You're headed for self-destruction. That's what I keep thinking about every time.
For it. She's there.
Let me spare you guys of me singing, and we'll just get right into the video. Let's see what we got. Right. Part 6. This one's titled from Atozy. TikTok psychic is in denial. She ruined her life. So this is a year later.
This TikTok psychic is currently in denial that she completely ruined her life after essentially spending a whole year falsely accusing a University of Idaho professor of ending the lives of her students. And she did so in over 100 different TikToks and multiple different YouTube videos. Then when she was finally served a cease and desist to remove all this content, she said she would rather use that as toilet paper.
I'm about to put this demand letter Rebecca Schofield attorney sent me by the tissue so I can wipe my with it.
After that, she made multiple videos saying that she was excited for the lawsuit and she would finally get the opportunity to prove to the world that the professor did it.
I've been against people, big and small, corporations and giants and systemic policies and racism and won. They all regret coming against me, all of them. Now Rebecca is going to be added to that list of regretful people.
What proof, you may ask? Well, apparently tarot cards and her own spiritual intuition. Then on top of that, she was representing herself in court. So it's safe to say she's getting absolutely obliterated.
So it's just wrong decisions at every turn. First, even talking about this. 2, doubling, tripling, quadrupling down. 3, representing herself.
Oh, yeah. Like, come on now. Like, do not ever represent yourself in court unless you are a litigator, a trained litigator or a lawyer or whatever, that you've got some solid background and knowledge.
I hear
I
it
mean, that's
backwards. Even from Natalie Lawyer chick. She's like, if I ever go to court, I'm gonna get a lawyer. Because
right,
it's almost like being a doctor. You're gonna operate on yourself. You need
right.
someone
And
who's
you're
outside.
emotionally attached to the outcome of the
Yeah.
situation. So you can't be
Boom.
objective.
I just realized I was on top. You should be on top.
Oh, it's a
So I just I didn't mean it that way.
prefer to be
Oh,
on
here
top.
we go.
So there you go.
Here we go. Here we go. I'm gonna press play.
You opened it up that time. That wasn't me.
Whoa, okay, it's getting worse. Jesus, I'm the bottom. All right, here we go.
And she's made a complete mockery out of the legal system and stolen an entire year from the professor's life. And is she sorry? Absolutely not. Because recently, Ashley decided to go onto a podcast by the name of Swamp Rose. And here she essentially proved that she learned nothing and is in complete denial that she ruined her own life.
You've received some major backlash from some very large and powerful YouTubers. And could you please tell me and the audience how that negative coverage on YouTube has affected your life?
Well, it surprised me how people who've known me for years, all my life, family, friends, and also people who've gotten readings from me and seeing the accuracy of the readings,
Oh no, she gave people fucking readings.
Oh, it's disturbing.
Oh, I can only imagine.
I feel for anybody who
Oh,
received that and actually took it as something that was valuable. Oof.
I am not a psychic, but I guarantee if I gave 100 people a readings, I'd get one kind of close to right.
Sure. Sure.
Jesus.
surprises me how, and it's not just YouTubers, it's been the news media and it's been social media. It's been both. So it's like, you have the older generations who watch the news and saying these things that are not true about me. And then you have the younger generation who's seeing things on social media. All of the lies being spread on different cultures.
She doesn't even know that older generation and younger generations all watch social media. Every time we look at our algorithm, we get surprised at how many people over 55 watch my YouTube channel.
Right.
So
Yeah. No, she is out to lunch. She is just out to lunch.
She thinks all old people are just sitting on the couch watching the 5, 6, 7, and 8 o'clock news, and that's it. Okay.
And it bothered me that people who know me, I felt like moved different. They started to act differently with me. So I'm like, okay, so you believe this stuff?
Believe what stuff? That you made up an elaborate story accusing a random professor in Idaho of having an affair, then ending the lives of multiple students due to this affair. And you did so in over 100 different TikTok videos and a full synopsis on YouTube. And the only proof you have is tarot cards. No wonder people are going, maybe I'll take a couple steps back from this woman, because no sane woman would ever do that.
Also, it's unbiased. It's like the disposition for everyone was that I was lying or implausible, and that all of it, that she was just innocent. There was no question regarding whether or not I was telling the truth or not. It was an automatic disposition that I was lying, that she was innocent. So I just thought that was interesting that no one questioned her, or no one even put themselves on the outside looking.
She literally thinks no one questioned her. When you make accusations, the police, even when they think it's BS, have to do due diligence.
Yes,
So they did question her, and that's why the police put out a statement that she's been cleared and has nothing to do with this. They were probably even sorry he bothered her.
Again, this is God complex stuff. This is her just being shocked that she didn't matter enough, that what she said didn't, like, oh my God, you've changed the course of this case, and thank you, we couldn't have done it without you. And like, that's what she's looking for. She's looking for approval. She's looking for approval, and she's looking for praise and accolades regarding that approval, and she didn't get it, and she is quite frankly stunned that nobody can see the brilliance of her. That's what this is. It's mind blowing. It's mind blowing. Again, I say that the title of this series should be Hubris. The hubris of this individual is mind blowing.
Mm.
Or even made an unbiased attempt to say it could be true or not.
Because that's not how it works. You don't have proof. It's not the professor who's supposed to prove that she's innocent. It's you who needs to prove that she's guilty. With something a little bit more concrete than tarot cards and intuition.
So it wasn't an even playing. It was unfair coverage altogether on the news and also on YouTube. I didn't like that.
I don't think the professor liked her name being dragged through all this, because you decided to do a tarot card reading on the university faculty website.
I know that the truth is going to come out, and when it does, don't try to switch up again. I just have a mental note of those who stood by me and those who did not.
She's throwing herself a complete pity party and taking zero accountability. She's basically lost this lawsuit, and she still believes that she's correct. Meanwhile, the people who are interviewing her are like, you did such a great job. What?
It's so nice listening to you. You're clearly, lovely and intelligent and sincere. And, just so you know, I've read all the legal documents, and it's obvious, because you're pro se, that you've really dug in, and now you're almost like a legal expert, because the way that you're writing I'm a paralegal, so I'm saying the way that you've written your motions and everything is well done.
How can people you're a paralegal?
Look, so there's, now that she's gotten someone to give her that, it's over.
Oh my God, it's like believing your own press. Like, you never believe your own press. We all, as humans, we all have to, do dishes and laundry. We all have dishes and fucking laundry to do. Who is this person that they found to corroborate her madness?
I don't know. I thought she was another psychic, but she's also a paralegal. Who knows? She might have like 12 titles. Let's see.
The same lawsuit. Like, she lost the lawsuit because she clearly doesn't understand how they work. She was super excited to go to court, but then she realized, oh no, I need a little bit more than just tarot cards and spiritual intuition to ruin an innocent person's life. So then she started saying the whole lawsuit's unfair. She's wasted a year of her own life trying to ruin another professor's life, and now she's about to have to pay for it. But I guess not before she gets some praise from this podcast by the name of Swamp Rose, because what planet are these people on to praise her?
And for me, I'm not necessarily, I don't know the things that you know, and that Kiki knows more about spirituality and that kind of thing than I do. But what I do believe is that you're very sincere in your belief, and I respect that. And so, and I'm sorry that when you come out and you speak your truth and what you believe to be the truth, to get such backlash. And I don't condone that. I don't agree with it. And I think we live in a society where we all have different views and we're coming from different perspectives. And I don't think you can rule anything out.
So people should just be able to throw out wild accusations at others with zero proof.
Stephanie, you're my mom. I've got proof. I want back pay of child support.
It's crazy.
No, I'm serious. What do you mean it's crazy? Give me my money. She doesn't even know what to say. She's so
I don't, I'm baffled.
That's why I had to do this with you, because I know since you are a psychic and intuitive, this is going to hit you differently than it's going to hit me, because you guys always have to do damage control of people having bad experiences from people like this. And now she's got
and the fact that she's got people that are in her corner,
validating. So she said Kiki has some more experience in that realm. I'm wondering if Kiki is going to say anything. Let's see.
Then get zero repercussions. What? The two women interviewing her are bending over backwards to try and be liked as much as possible by Ashley, and I don't understand why.
What made you feel like you were convicted in that reading?
Initially, when I did the readings, it was too easy. The answer was too easy. So I was like, okay, before I talk about this, because I'm also I don't like people being falsely accused, especially of murder. I've read a case before or about a case before where a guy was like for years abused and harassed and accused of a murder he didn't commit, and he ended up, I don't know if I can say the right words here, but he ended up unaliving himself. I don't play those type of games.
What do you mean? You literally went on a campaign to falsely accuse someone of exactly that.
When I did get the information regarding her role, I was like, this is too easy. Let me do the same thing I did for, I think it was like 10 people on the history department's page. So I started readings on all of them. And then I noticed that the readings that I was getting on her was very different than the readings I was getting on the other people. So it was consistent with that. And then, I asked questions, and then I asked them in a different way, or how was her relationship with this person? How was her relationship with this person? I tried to ask different questions or the same questions in different ways to see if the readings match. So
I'd like to see those damn questions she's asked. I feel like she asked questions that she wanted a very specific answer to, and the specific answer she want was going to direct her where she wanted to go in the first place.
Yeah. I mean, I say this a lot when I'm on with a client, I like to basically start from scratch. Like, don't give me your questions necessarily before we do the reading, because I just want to go in and get kind of like a cold read or a blind read to give you messaging from your guides. And then we can open up to questions. And I always say you can make your questions as general or specific as you'd like, because there are psychics out there who will ask you a bunch of questions before you even get settled in the reading or started with the reading, and then the reading ends up being about all the things that you already talked about.
That's the dead giveaway.
Yes. So, I operate with questions. Like, I work best when you do ask me questions, because it points me in the direction of getting right to the heart of the matter of what you're looking for. But if you don't show up with questions, I'm going to get a bunch of stuff for you, and it's going to, make sense to you or not, or it's going to be about the thing that you want to know about, or it's going to be about whatever your guides want to know about. But this whole thing, like her, like asking, like, she just went down a complete rabbit hole and fabricated. It's like reverse engineering the case, right? To make it make sense based on the fantastical story that she created.
I can pass any test if I have all the answers.
You said what? Sorry?
I can pass any test if I have all the answers.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. She's just, as Atozy is saying, once again, no remorse, no self-awareness, no accountability for her own actions and why she's where she's at. And then these two women supporting her and blowing smoke up her ass as though all of this is completely normal. And again, she's the victim in this situation. Right. She's the victim of herself. She's the victim of her own demise. Like, ugh. This whole thing is just very disturbing. I don't like this. I don't like it. I do not like Ham. I do not like them, Sam. I am.
Well, you're going to like these. Yes, you are. You're going to like these because we have more to go so far.
Okay.
If I asked how was their relationship and I asked what was her role in the murders, it has to align, because it makes spiritual sense, but it also has to make what I would say is logical sense as well.
Doing tarot card readings on a history department website of a university doesn't sound like a logical reason to falsely accuse someone of murder.
If I'm asking what her role is in the murders and it says that she orchestrated it, well, then it should also be a reading saying why, and it should also be a reading that aligns saying what their relationship was and how it went wrong. It should also be a reading on how she was connected. Everything should align, and everything did align. So it wasn't necessarily, it was intuitive messages. Reading a book, normally you're just reading the words in a book. all of it aligned. So it wasn't necessarily like a strong feeling. It's just intuitive messages. And so reading a normal book, you're just reading the words, but in an intuitive reading, it's like reading in between the lines and trying to intuitively understand what the message is being sent to you, what message is being sent to me. So I just had to make sure by doing multiple readings that I'm reading it the right way, that I'm getting the right message. So after doing so many, it all made sense.
Okay, and again, this was strong enough evidence.
Well, go ahead, Stacey.
She's using the word making sense, and I'm just thinking in my head, she's saying it so much because she knows that she's not making any sense, right? Like we're in the upside down world. We're in an alternate reality right now. We're in the world of Ashley, and the world of Ashley does not make any sense of any kind. I don't know how she can rationalize this. I think in another episode he talked about the mental gymnastics, that big top, I think he said big top mental gymnastics or whatever that she's having to go through. It's exhausting. I mean, as an empath and a psychic, watching this and observing this, like, my head hurts. I'm literally exhausted. This is very draining on me
And
to watch
you
this
know what?
person.
And it's not, and that's not lost on me. That's why I'm doing the light part, because I can imagine if we were reacting to military stories and someone was telling you a military story, that me after 20 years knowing that what they're telling you is all bullshit. Like,
Right.
it would give me a headache to hear someone telling you about certain things
Oh
and
yeah.
what they're telling you is not correct.
Well, and I also think about, like, people are watching this who maybe don't know about the psychic world, and so they're getting a lot of information from this, and she's like gaslighting everybody. And it's like, so then how does anybody know that this
Mhm.
isn't reality or the truth? Like, oh, it's very disconcerting, very disturbing. My whole everything is off for me right now. Like, I'm just like, oh my god, make it stop. Stop the world. I want to get off. I'm done. Stick a fork in me. Seriously.
To waste 1 year of your life going after a random professor in Idaho, falsely accusing her as a murderer. But apparently she might not be done with this kind of content that got her sued in the first place.
I'm trying to see what I want to do, because I don't want this case to get me off my purpose or my path to purpose. I still, when I see true crime and things of that sort, these cases, and there was just this recent case with the Chief fans, I want to use my gifts. I want to find out what happened, and I want to talk about it. But it's like I felt underappreciated. So if I have an elite gift to offer and it's not being appreciated, it's almost like, yeah, I have a passion for it, but I don't want to use it. I don't want to use my gift while it's not being appreciated. It's like getting in a pigsty. I don't want to be in a sty with pigs and trying to teach them spirituality when it's a pig. It doesn't want to know. So it's just, I don't know. I'm just trying.
What kind of
What
analogy
did
is
you
that?
say?
Talking as someone who uses analogies all the time and doesn't always get it spot on. What the fuck was that?
Oh my God.
To get to a point where I can get back on my path to purpose without me feeling like people don't deserve it.
So it seems like she believes she's better than people who don't blindly believe her tarot card readings. Yeah, that sounds healthy and normal. It seems like she's in complete denial that this tarot card reader's side quest in her life has completely ruined it. But the interviewers just feed into it.
Hey, and I thought of something while you were talking about teaching pigs. My father had a saying I thought I'd share with you. He said, you can try to teach a pig to sing, but it's not going to work, and you're just going to piss off the pig. So.
What? But at least someone finally asked her a good question.
Well, never mind. I'm just gonna keep going.
When you say the things that you say, and you get the reading results, do you consider that like fact or your personal opinion?
So I guess
you probably know why I'm asking that.
Yes, I do. Yeah. So, I mean, from the perspective of me, I see it as, I don't want to use the word fact because I feel like fact is a legal word.
No, it's your truth. It's your truth.
Yes. I see it as
no, facts is not your truth. Truth is the truth. I am so tired of the your truth thing. That my truth could be 2 + 2 is 17. That is not true.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, though, that is the world that we live in. I have my truth, your truth, and then there's universal truth, or the truth that's, somewhere in the middle. There are always multiple perspectives. And, again, kind of like coming back to that, we can both witness the same thing and have a very different truth around
Yeah,
what
but
we
that's what I'm saying.
experience,
They need to
right?
change that word to you have a very difference of opinions of observant. They keep changing what a fact and what truth is, and it's
Well, the fact
annoying.
that this Gia Peru, or whatever the hell her name is, she put those words into her mouth. Like, she added the word truth. She wasn't talking about truth. Ashley wasn't talking about truth. Gia inserted that into her mouth, like didn't let her finish
Well, because
her
she
word.
said she
And
didn't
it
want to
really
use
has
the word
nothing to do with
fact.
truth at
Yeah.
all.
Well, let's.
Yeah, she started to basically say, yeah, no, everything that I say isn't a fact when it comes from spiritual
Well, let's
guidance.
see,
It's
because
not
she did
factual.
start that, and we did cut off. So let's see.
True. Now,
Yeah.
fact, I don't know if it can be considered a fact because the legal definition of it is more logical. Fact is, yeah.
Mhm.
So, but truth, 100%, because people lie all the time.
Yeah.
But a spirit does not lie.
Why is she fighting this case if she also recognizes this? Also, why is the interviewer just not letting her answer for herself? It's like
Yes.
she had anxiety, she asked a tough question and doesn't want Ashley to dislike her for it, so she tries to help her answer it. But this is
Right.
apparently why Ashley never quit the lawsuit.
My guys say anything to me about all the legal troubles that I'm going
Have her guide said anything about her legal troubles she's going?
Oh, I can't wait to hear what this is.
Yes. So that takes me back to doing readings on myself. Now, when I initially continued to report on my TikTok, it did say that in the end, Schofield will lose her case. So I'm like, oh, she's going to lose her case. Initially, I'm thinking, is she going to lose the case? Is she going to be arrested for murder? But in retrospect, it was alluding to her losing this. She's going to lose the case. That was just predicted in the beginning. But my readings also predicted and said, going to be losing so bad or going through a troubled time that I'm going to wish that it was over. Now, my ego self was hoping that was talking to her. So when I did that reading, I'm like, she's going to be losing so bad, not me. In retrospect, because of everything that I'm going on in my life, it's like, okay, I get what it was saying about me going through a period of time where I'm troubled and going through ups and downs. Because my reading, even before this case, it was telling me I was going to go through a period where I'm a trying time. So yes, I was warned, and yes, I continue to do it because I don't know what else to do. If something is telling me that I'm essential to something, or if something is essentially a part of me, I don't know how else to behave. I don't know how to quit. I don't know how to stop. I just know to do what I purpose to do. That's all I know.
I think it's safe to say she has a very
Can you explain that mumbo jumbo to me?
Yeah. So, it's a couple of different things, but if you are walking a spiritual path, you do understand that your soul is here to learn certain experiences, and that everything that crosses your path, every choice that you make, every experience that you have, the idea is to go within and to see what the lesson is in all of it. Why is it happening for me? Is it happening for me because I'm trying to learn a particular lesson, I'm trying to ascend to a particular thing, or I'm trying to, get to a particular goal? How does this fit in to that part of the journey? She's talking about that, and she's saying before she started this whole reading process, she did a reading for herself on whether or not she should begin the journey, and she misunderstood the cards. It was kind of what I had been talking about in a previous segment of this, where I might be getting information, and in my mind, I'm thinking it's connected to this guy, but really it's actually connected to the girl in the picture. And I'm getting the things that the information is accurate, but I'm getting the roles reversed, which is why you should never say absolutely unequivocally that spiritual guidance is factual and 100% and it's going to turn out exactly the way you think it is, because often it's subjective. It's a conceptual thing. So what she's talking about is she got a message that she interpreted as what Rebecca was going to go through when she exposed this information that she got. But she's saying in hindsight now, I'm seeing that actually that was a message for me, that I was going to go through all of this difficulty and I was going to have some retribution or not retribution. I was going to have some struggles that are causing me to, like sort of learn different lessons. Although she doesn't take it as far as to say learning different lessons. She's basically saying, all right, I misread my own message to myself. And so this was really showing me that if I revealed the truth, that I was going to be persecuted. That's what I'm taking from that. It's in many ways it's like a judgment, if you will, that she's saying, and again, it's like she's trying to justify her actions and her choices. That yeah, okay, I should, I should have paid more attention to the message. I thought it was giving me information about Rebecca and how Rebecca's experience was going to be if I revealed this, but now I'm understanding that it was my own. She shows no remorse. The only remorse that she has, or the only, regret that she has, is the fact that she now has to face all of these consequences. But she has no remorse for Rebecca. She keeps saying over and over again, I hope the truth will come out at some point that she was guilty. So it's very twisted, very, very twisted. But it's, it's like anything, any kind of religion or spirituality or whatever. If human is involved and human doesn't have the best of intention, human can distort and twist and convolute whatever is there to meet their needs in the moment. And that's what I see happening here.
Productive intuition. But anyway, what's her game plan now?
I do see some changes coming, so hopefully those changes come soon. Still relying on the truth to be revealed, so hopefully more information comes out and everything could be brought out to light. I think a lot of people will be surprised, but I really don't have anything more to say about it. I'm just letting time and trusting the process and letting it just happen as it's supposed to happen.
So her plan is to wait until the world finds out the professor actually did it? Yeah. Okay, what a terrible plan. But as for the ongoing lawsuit, the professor is currently waiting for the court to grant the plaintiff's motion for partial summary judgment and hold Miss Gilliard liable for defamatory statements as a matter of law. In the lawsuit summary, it says the evidence conclusively establishes that Miss Gilliard's statements defame Professor Schofield. All that remains is for a jury to determine the amount of Professor Schofield's damages. But if you want the full story of everything that happened, I made an entire summary video of it here. You can check out here, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.
So how has this resolved? I mean, we've got a year later. How has this resolved? So this case is still ongoing.
Yep, there's no conclusion yet.
Wow. That's bizarre. I mean, I don't think I need to be a psychic to say that I'm pretty sure a jury is going to find in favor of Rebecca Schofield. And there are probably going to be other lawsuits that are filed as a result.
Yes, the TikTok psychic Ashley Gillard lost the defamation lawsuit filed against her by University of Idaho professor Rebecca Schofield. A judge ruled that Gillard was liable for defamation for falsely accusing the professor of orchestrating the 2022 deaths of students. Legal ruling: a federal judge. The judge granted partial summary judgment to Schofield, finding Gillard liable for defamation. Current status: a subsequent trial to determine the specific amount of punitive damages Gillard must pay has yet to be scheduled. So that's the part that's still ongoing.
Interesting. Well, I'm pretty sure that they are going to give her the full amount. I mean, this is insanity, and there's plenty of receipts for Rebecca on this one. Wow, Keone, you threw me for a loop with this one. That is our Black Feather Reacts first segment of this, or I should say, first part of the series, 6-part series. Hope you guys enjoyed this. My mind is blown. I'm completely exhausted and baffled and blown away at the depravity that people can go to. And my hope is that you take from this that I'm going to say she's not very psychic. She's not acting from her psychic perspective. She's acting very much from ego. And my hope for her is that she really does learn to be able to kind of ascend her soul into a different direction. And that at some point she apologize, and apologize publicly, so that all of the people who were watching this can see that this was just not right. This is not right. It's not appropriate. And it's not the way psychics, I want to say true psychics that operate out of a sense of integrity, operate. This is very, very different. So thanks, Keone, for this very bizarre trip down the rabbit hole. And until we see you guys next time for another episode of Black Feather Couture Divining a VIP Life, I say we will see you on the flip side, and transform well. What the hell is wrong with some people? OMG. Well, we don't use psychic abilities in court, peeps. I don't think they are a psychic as much as they need to focus on putting the cuckoo back in the clock.